Welcome to Fairies in the Twilight. If you are interested in how to create this scene, then you are welcome to watch me here, and I will show you which stamps and which colors I will use. For now I'll take watercolor paper. It is DinA 5 and it is a very thick paper. I had already colored my watercolor paper with the waste of no, not the waste, but the leftovers of the colors from my Distress Oxide inks on my glass plate, and I used it on my paper. And also I used my inks, yellow one and a light blue one. And now I will use trees from Claritystamps. These are small stamps and I think they have a perfect size for my scene. And I tore some paper into shape and attach it with washi tape. These are different trees and they fit very well into the scene because of the size and the scale. For my stamps I use Versafine Clair. It is a green one and I use it with my tree stamps one time and the second and also the third time. And you have now the impression that the lighter trees are in the back and the dark green trees are in the front. Now you can see which colors of Versafine Clair I will use, because I have now my, it is the copy paper, and the mask is now my line, and I need the line because I want to have trees which are grounded, and it looks now that we are really growing in the backside of the landscape, and they are not hanging in the air. And of course I need a lot of color in the front, and I use now my mask again, and also different colors from Versafine, and I have two different green colors and also a blue one. And now I'm thinking which stamps I will use in the middle, in the range between the front and the back landscape, and these are now the trees I want to use. Perhaps this is not the perfect stamp for a silhouette tree, but I will use it in the middle because it has the right size. Of course, there are blossom and leaves and something like that, but you won't see it in the future because I want to color it. The name of the tree is Blossom Tree. And now it is the right time to use this stamp from Lavinia. It is a tree and it has the right size for my front paper. The front is now bigger than the trees in the land scene in the back. And yeah, obviously my acrylic block has not the right size, and that is now the reason that I will take now my stamping body and I will try it again with this tool. I use now lunar buds. These are also stamps by Lavinia and I use it now in the middle of my page, and I will color my stamps with distress oxides and other paints. Now I take again my masking tape and my little brush and I use my Versafine Clair, and now I have from Nuvo the inks which are watercolor inks, and I paint now my little lunar buds. Now I will begin with the stamps in the foreground, and I will have a nice impression of my stamp, and so I use the stamping body from Nelly Snell, and I will show you now which stamp I'm using. It is a stamp from Lavinia, and this image I have this image in a smaller size and a bigger size. I have to clean my stamp because I want to use it again in another area of my paper, and I want to avoid that the stamp now immediately transfer the leftover of the ink. And now I'm using again my Versafine ink, and the impression is very well. I like it, and I clean it again. And now I will use it perhaps a third time, but I'm thinking of another stamp. This is the smaller one, and now I want to use the smaller one in the foreground. And again, I am using Versafine, and the impression is also nice. I think the quality of these Lavinia stamps is really good, and yeah, the stamps are very detailed and I like to use them here. Now it is time for coloring, and I use a aqua pen from Nuvo. It is the wine red one. This color is amazing, and I use it on my acrylic block. And of course you can use water. I have now a water pen brush, and you can make the ink a little bit thinner and it is not so opaque. And yeah, I think these, I don't know, are these flowers or what kind of plants? I don't know, but it is a very nice stamp and I like it to color. It makes a lot of fun. And behind the lunar buds I also painted with the wine red, and now I think it is not so good because the colors are nearly the same, the front color and in the middle, and now I mix it up with some yellow, yeah, a little bit orange color, and now it makes a big difference, I think. In these lovely plants I used also glitter marker from Nuvo, and these are a little bit bluish. Do you say bluish? I don't know. It is a blue color and it has some glitter inside and it holds very well on the paper and you can't rub it off. I like these glitter things. This is now one of my fairies and I want to have her image on the lunar buds, and I want to place it like she is sitting on the plant. This image is not as perfect as I want it to have, but I will use now a twin marker and I color the things which are not black enough, and yeah, I think now you can see the fairy. And of course I have some other fairies and I want to use these lovely stamps also. But first of all, I have to find the right place for her friends, and I want to have 3 fairies. The second fairy has now the right place, and now it is time for the third one. And I have a flying fairy, and she should fly over the other fairies, and I want to have her placed in the middle of my card. Finally, it wasn't so easy to place my fairies in the middle of the circles, and I show you now that I want to have my inner circle a little bit lighter, because I think you can't see the fairies so well, and I use now some tips and tricks, and I think when you are using distress oxides, you can fix the problems with using water and make it a little bit lighter, or you can use lighter colors, and I see now that the results are much better than before. Also, my pink plants are now a little bit different, because I used a re-inker of the distress oxides. It was the red one, and now I'm using an orange re-inker inside the circle. Yeah, and now it is time to do something different. I use now my Pebbles. These are chalk paints, and I use it with my special tool, and I apply now different colors. These are the earth tones of colors, and I want to have a much darker sky, and yeah, I thought I can use my pebbles again, and I will try how the sky will look like with these special colors. I wanted to use the chalk paint because I have these colors in my drawer, and yeah, I must say in the past I really had these paints, but I didn't use it, and now it is the right time. I want to give them a try. I really wanted to have light in the picture. So I used a stencil and gave a cone of light over the fairies. I would like to make the sky even darker, and therefore I use Versafine ink, Versafine Clair, with 2 different shades of blue to emphasize the edges. I show you now which colors I used. I show you now that I use my watercolor pen with my stencil, and I made it a little bit lighter around my light, the yellow light. And inside my circles I used a white gel marker, and it is a gel marker by Sakura. I use them very often because I like them very much. And by the way, I think it is very interesting that the chalk colors from Pebbles went so well with the Distress Oxide inks. But the reason for that is perhaps the Distress Oxide inks are very special inks, and I think inside the Oxide inks must be something like chalk. Yeah, and now I again use my chalk colors, and yeah, I have some problems with my tool, but yeah, finally it works very well. I like now my picture, but perhaps I need some highlights, and of course gel markers are a good idea to give things a little bit interest. Yeah, and now I'm using a darker color, but it is a metal color and it is shiny. It gives them a little bit shine. Yeah, and on my fairies I want to have a white shine, a white gel marker I'm using now, because I think the light comes from above and you can see the fairies now very well. A little bit off here and a little bit there. I like using my gel markers. Yeah, and I always like to give my cards and also my pictures a little bit of extra, and before I used glitter drops, and they are shiny, a little bit shimmery, and this is now a very special pen by Nuvo. It is an aqua shimmer pen, and it gives a little bit sparkle yeah, on the top, and the sky is now a little bit shimmering. I hope that you can see all the little details, because it is sometimes very hard to to find it in the camera, and I hope I can hold my paper in the right direction so you can see it. It is a very lovely shimmer. This again is a glitter drop by Nuvo. It is a different color. It is a lighter color. Now I want to show you my finished card, my paper, my image, and I have problems to show it because now you can see different photos I took. One is more green and one is more blue or darker, and it is not, how can I tell you, it is not the right color. It is really a problem to show you the right color. Now it is the light, it is in the evening, and I have my lights on, and here you can see the shimmer on the blue sky. That is really nice to see, but in reality the whole image is not as dark as you can see it now. It is really a miracle for me, but I really like my fairies, and perhaps they give a little miracle to my picture. So I have some problems to show you all the miracles of this little picture. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, and now I wish you a wonderful day. Be crafty, and yeah, if you want, you can like my video, and perhaps you want to subscribe to my channel. That would be very nice, and I always appreciate that, and perhaps you want to write a little comment. That makes me really happy. Bye for now.